Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Werewolves. And this is a new horror action flick coming your way from director Stephen C. Miller, who might not have the strongest filmography, but I feel like he might have found a nice niche project here that he was able to sink his teeth into and have some fun. I feel like it's kind of sad because you have The Wolfman coming out in January from Lee Wannell and, you know, coming off the tails of The Invisible Man. There's some hype around that one. I don't think anybody knows this movie's coming out, and that's sad, and it's a fun time. It's has this concept that there's a super moon, and for one night only, it'll turn anybody into a werewolf that's in the moonlight. You have these two scientists played by Frank Grillo and Katrina Law, and Frank Grillo playing a scientist. Don't really buy a whole lot, but when he starts shooting things up and looking ripped and taking down werewolves, I can buy into that. But they have this like miraculous science breakthrough that stops the, like, on their skin, it's like sunscreen, it stops the moonlight from touching them, and they don't turn into werewolves. So then they could take down a whole bunch of other werewolves. You have Lou Diamond Phillips, who's also a scientist, who's in it briefly, mostly just dropping exposition, but, you know, he's fun while he's there. And Frank Grillo's character Wesley just wants to get home to his sister-in-law and niece, played by Ilfenesh Hadera, who this film cuts back and forth between Grillo and Hadera a lot. And, you know, you have this building tension of, like, will they get there in time? Will Hadera's Lucy hold things down? And with her cute daughter, played by Camden Gary. And you have these two parallel stories. The story's not particularly fresh or different or interesting. It has a core, what it's going for. These characters don't have a ton of depth, but I think the actors do a fine job. Like Grillo, tough guy role, taking down werewolves. We can buy into that. I think Law and Hadera do a good job of adding some depth there. Story-wise, I feel like there's some, like, big twists that are like, duh. You see that coming a mile away. It makes a lot of sense why the film would be going in that direction. And, you know, they're trying to get some emotional moments. And I think they work well enough because this film spends just enough time making us care about these characters. Now, I feel like Miller, who doesn't have the strongest track record in terms of his filmography, really gets the shine here, and there's some really clever ways, like the first time we really see the werewolves, there's this one particular sequence where it's like there's this split screen and camera panning over, and you just see, oh my god, these are some terrifying looking werewolves. And you have a lot of inspired moments in terms of like the camera work and the action. I think the practical effects is what really stands out in this film. They really go all in on making these werewolves look very tangible, and it's terrifying to look at because you're just like, that looks like I would not want to be anywhere near that. And, you know, they have some cool transformation moments and stuff like that. That's where I feel like a lot of this film, like, really has its fun, and that, like, bits of body horror transformation and, you know, that action with the big tangible werewolves and everybody. It's a fun film, and it's not the deepest, but it's well shot, it's thrilling, it has really good practical effects. You have that tough guy leading man at the center of it with Frank Grillo, and there's some fun one-liners. Frank Grillo, I don't know, he's not like Arnold or Sly that can just throw like one-liners out there and feel really convincing, but, you know, I feel like he anchors this film down well enough. Law and Hadera are good standouts, and overall, it's a fun time. It's a lean movie. This is like 90 minutes, so you're not even going to be overstating your welcome here. We get a lot of werewolf action fun, and that's all we wanted. But those are my thoughts on Werewolves. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.